Welcome to Breaking Boundaries podcast. I'm Matt Colomer here with my co-host Rafael Avjolu. On this podcast, we interview people that are pushing themselves and testing their limits within art, business, and entrepreneurship.
What drives you, what pushes you to your breaking point, and what got you to where you are right now? This is Breaking Boundaries podcast. Yo, what's up? We're back with Breaking Boundaries podcast. This is my co-host Matt, and we're sitting here with Joel Irizarry.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Introduce himself a little bit.
So I am Joel Irizarry, and I shoot videos.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you shoot videos.
Yep.
Talk a little bit more about that. What's that process like for you?
Well, I'm still learning. I can't call myself a professional yet. I feel.
Ooh, we'll talk about that. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's a good topic. It's a good topic.
So, but I started off a little less than a year ago, I can say. It just kind of blew up out of there. So it was by mistake. I kind of bought the camera for a trip, and then from there it just kind of took off. Everybody wanted videos, and I'm like, wait, I'm taking 12 hours to kind of, edit a simple clip.
Yeah.
And that's how I kind of figured out that I had to make a little extra money on the side.
Yeah.
So
this could be
So
profitable.
the money mentality clicked in, and you're like, how can I profit off of this?
Exactly. Yeah. So, and then it just kind of started blowing off from there. But it goes way deeper. It goes way deeper, into that. Yeah, man. I just kind of took off. It took off little by little, and then just blew up.
Yeah.
So in regards to the whole, we'll just quick touch upon this in regards to the whole professional thing, because I definitely mentor a lot of people under me, because I know that for myself, I had professors around me. There's that whole conversation where, is it good to go to school? Is it good not to go to school? What's that benefit like? What's that not benefit like? I definitely saw it as a means of getting the confidence from my professors to be like, oh, I actually can be good at something, because they were like, I believe in you. And I was like, no one really ever believed in me so much to this point, or told me that I was different, or told me that I could do this. So that was great and stuff like that. But I felt like I constantly was reaching out to, and maybe it was reaching out to the wrong photographers, but I was reaching out to everyone from 500 followers that I saw was killing it to 100, 200,000 followers. I was like, yo, can you help me? Oh, can you help me there? Can you help me there? And everyone's like, nah. So I had to figure it out for myself. So that for that reason, I mentor a lot of people. When people reach out to me, oh, how did you do this? Or I don't keep secrets. How do I create a composite? If you want to learn, you can pay me for a Skype tutorial, whatever. We can run through some Photoshop tools, whatever. Because I know that I would have loved that when I was starting out.
Right.
But I gotta say that a lot of them, also ask me questions. Oh, how'd you build on Instagram? How did you, what hashtags did you use? Would you waste your time on this? What would you charge for a wedding? What would you charge for this? What would you charge for that? And I kind of walk them through everything. Because again, I said, I will waste my time. I don't feel like it's a waste of time giving back to the community. But will say sometimes in their bio, they'll say amateur photographer, or they'll say or they'll talk to other people and go, well, I'm not a professional. And I always say, yo, from the get-go, you are. Because it's so much better.
That's a good point.
The perception is to be like, yeah, I'm a fucking professional.
You want to imprint it in your head.
The second you get your first gig, but maybe even before that, you are a professional, because you put that in your mind. I'm a professional. It matters how professional you act, so you should act professional, but you put that in your mind, then you act professional, and then you try and be all the things that it is to be a professional. If that's what you want to do, then it kind of goes forward into being a professional. And the more you go, I'm not a professional, the more people go, oh, you're not? Well, I guess I won't fucking hire you.
No, I agree 100%. See, I don't tell people that. I let them label me. Because I let my work speak for itself.
It does.
So
it does.
So I don't like to, obviously if it's business, then it's a little different, right? But when it comes to talking to other creators, I like to just kind of hear and also see what they do and stuff like
Right.
that. But I don't like to label myself.
Right.
You know, you can say I'm a director, but I don't think I'm a director, right?
Right.
So for me, it's a little
Yeah.
different. I
Yeah.
just kind of let you label me, right? I know what I
You
am, but
decide
obviously,
what you want
yeah,
me to-
but I know that I can pull certain things off, but I
Right.
just don't. I sometimes I just be like, am I really a professional?
And the time
Yeah,
thing is
'cause
a tough thing because people go,
Yeah.
oh, like I've only been doing this for a short
It-
amount of
it's-
time.
I think
But
it's
it will
the
take
time.
people-
I think it's the
it'll take
time.
people
Probably.
Yeah, because
years to get to where you are right now.
Yeah.
It takes some
That's
people
true.
years.
no,
That's
and
true.
I but see that,
And that's
like,
the
and you
problem.
know, because you
Yeah.
I mean, you have pretty good experience.
Yeah, I have good
and-
experience, but I don't have great experience with video, and I know that in order
Yeah.
for me to get the way that my
Yeah.
brain works, in order for me to get to where you are, and I don't know, maybe I spent so much time on
Yeah.
it that I could get to where you're at
Yeah.
in a year's time, but I know that that it does take people a long fucking
Yeah.
time to get to where you're at,
Yeah.
and it does take other people who start, they pick up a skateboard. Man, this
you're
7-year-old's
right.
only been
I know.
skateboarding for
He's
a
killing
year,
it.
but
He's
he's
killing
already-
it.
He's already fucking
He's
Tony
fearless.
Hawk.
He doesn't
Yeah.
give a shit.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
jumping, doing all this stuff, and he's only been doing this a year. I was just watching this video on this guy that was
Crazy
tight roping
shit, man.
across
Yeah.
a canyon in Alberta,
Oh,
Canada.
God damn.
And so he was going across the tightrope and stuff like that. They're clipped
Yeah.
on and stuff.
Yeah.
But he'd only been doing it for 4 months, and he was already going across this
4
whole
months,
huge
dude.
gorge because he already just dove
Yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah.
And so is he a
Just did
professional
it.
tightroper? I don't know, but he's certainly doing shit that
looks professional. Yeah.
tightropers are like, fuck that, I would never do that.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of, I don't know. It's like,
Yeah.
it's more for the people that are listening or watching this.
Yeah.
That if you're out there thinking, oh, maybe I'm not, maybe I am, I don't know, I shouldn't be, or certainly I would say take that shit off your bio. If it's on your bio, dude, nah, like that's what everyone sees.
Yeah,
on
yo,
I saw-
Instagram. That's like so many people go amateur.
I saw
photographer.
someone's bio.
I would
say-
never put amateur. Like that's
Yeah.
something that you don't let people know.
I
right?
saw
But-
someone's.
You kinda
But it's
take
just
it.
more inside, just kind of like, dude, sometimes, you run into little problems here and there, and you have to find ways to figure it out. And obviously,
That's
by
what
watching,
professionals do, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So now, it's still hard for me to say that.
I hear you.
But because you're humble.
Call it, I don't know. I don't
You are
want, yeah,
humble.
you can call it that, but
Yeah.
for me, it's just like, I don't want to put I don't know. Maybe yeah, I let people label it. You know,
Yeah.
you look at my work before I even even when it comes to pricing and stuff like
Right,
that,
Right.
I don't talk about price to the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Because
That's
I want,
smart.
Yeah, I don't at all.
That's
I
a
don't-
good way to do it.
Yeah, because I'm like, look at my work and stuff, and and then
Get to
from
know
there
it
we
like
go-
you like
get
this.
to know it. Yeah, exactly.
You start dropping the price right away. It's
Right.
just too much.
No,
No,
I
I
signed
know-
the
know-
contract at the end after we discussed what we're doing and blah blah blah.
Well, usually
Yeah.
it's like I talk with them like, what do you
Contract-
if
want?
it's a big thing, I sign
What
the
do you
contract at
What
the
do you
end.
want? What are you looking for? Like, give me some examples. Give me some inspiration. What do you want it to look like? Right? Whether there's a video, like I'm
Because
doing
then
a,
it depends on the budget.
exactly, and then
Well,
you
that
say,
too, that too.
okay, and then you say, then you can send them a proposal.
Yeah.
Okay, we're looking at this is like the typical price ranges. Like we can work with your budget if this doesn't work. Blah 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 blah. But like it takes a little while first before you get to
Right.
that, and then comes a contract if they agree to. That's how I
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't just be like, yo, contract with price and everything, hit them all at once.
But
No,
sometimes they
no.
ask right away. They go,
No,
"What's
they
the price?"
they do, and that's where, excuse me, and that's where I kind of hit them with a different direction because I so what is I asked them so what's your business or I
What
need
are
a
you
little
trying to
more-
do? Yeah.
give me a little bit of more information.
Right.
If that because I first of all I hate doing stuff through
Yeah.
through email
Yeah.
or through text. I
Yeah.
want a phone call
I wanna
or
talk
a
to you.
FaceTime call
Yeah,
or
Smart.
or face-to-face meeting
Yeah.
if we can.
Smart.
It's just I feel like I could get a better connection with the person,
And they trust you.
exactly, and
It's trust,
and I
dude.
get to act. I feel like I can connect more and get to know their business more,
Yeah.
and in a personal way than just kind of like this is the price, this is what it's gonna be, and this is what it is.
That's
And
the-
if I can't get to that, then I'll even lay off the topic of the pricing
Right.
and just kind of talk to them a little bit
Yeah.
more till I can kind of throw a
Yo,
price.
that's super smart, I think,
Yeah.
because that's I think where it gets lost on a lot of people when they start dropping prices right away and
Yeah.
they haven't built any trust
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
the
exactly.
potential client.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
even a client
Yeah.
yet, potential client.
Yeah,
They
yes.
haven't built any trust
Yeah,
and they
I
didn't
agree.
take the time because they just
Yeah.
want to get paid
Yeah.
or they want to get signed on for that project. If the people know you already,
Yeah.
that's a big plus.
Right.
Yeah.
But if they don't, if they're new potential clients, then like you said, get them on. Try to meet up with them in person.
Yeah.
If that's too difficult.
Yeah.
Conflicting schedules. Get them on a phone call at least.
Yeah, at
But,
least a phone call.
Yeah, try to
At
build up the
least,
trust because
yeah.
they don't. It's not really. They're not hiring only for your work, and only for the price.
No,
they both are important.
Personality is a huge, and that's something
yeah.
I've noticed in this business.
Yeah.
That you have to be very, very like
Personable.
Personable. Like you need to
friendly.
You gotta
energetic.
be energetic. Yeah, like if you're not, you're gonna get stuck.
Right.
You're gonna get stuck, dude. And that's something.
For
I mean, I learned that
sure.
from like my first.
Obviously, it depends on what you're trying to do. But if
Yeah,
you're trying
yeah.
to
I mean,
do
if
what
y-
you're trying to do or
Exactly.
what we're trying to do, then yeah, it helps
Yeah.
to be like, hey, how's it going? Or like, you can grab a kid's attention and entertain a kid for a
Yeah,
second so you can
yeah.
shoot a photo of them.
Smart,
Hey,
smart.
buddy, how's it going? High five.
Yeah,
Like, right on,
exactly.
man. Thank you so much
that
for that.
that
Yeah.
helps so much.
Yeah,
Like that
it
right
does.
there alone, that just takes you to the, and you know, and parents see that. Like, you know, you don't
And
want to stiff.
it's very hard to
like-
teach that to someone. You can teach someone how to use a DSLR, a mirrorless camera,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
You can sit someone down for a couple
Yeah.
weeks on how to do that, but you can't really teach someone very easily, not as easily. You can walk them
Yeah.
through orientations and stuff like that, but it's harder to teach someone how to really shake a hand and go, yeah, I got
Yeah.
you. I got your attention. I can
Because
sell
you can't
this.
just be
At
taught.
least-
You have to learn through experience.
Exactly, but at least when you're at least starting, I feel
Yeah.
like you have to be, even if that's not your character, try
Right.
to be that, because
Yeah.
when you're starting, that's what's gonna help you. Once you're like, you know, let's just say a Peter McKinnon
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something,
yeah.
you be
whoever you wanna be.
you want to be, because
Yeah.
now your work speaks for itself.
Right.
But that-
when you're
yeah.
starting, you need some sort of like, you know,
But
Right.
that kind of like, from what I hear from people that get further into this stuff that we're into, like in these creative fields, it's like that actually ends up being what develops their character.
Right.
Because they're like, yo, like I need to, you know, maybe they're very shy at first of, you know,
Right.
directing people or telling people, okay, this is the price, and like
Yeah.
talking about like, and when you do get to that point, talking about price and be like, okay, you know,
Yeah.
maybe you feel weird about that at first, but if you really want to do this, you
Right.
have to develop those skills, and that
But-
ends up shaping your character,
Yeah.
which is like pretty cool. You
Yeah.
know?
But I also feel like something that I've learned, and I'm not like really like active on YouTube or anything like that, but something that I have learned from watching a lot of active YouTubers that do YouTube full time is that it's going to be a lot fucking harder if you're not yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Oof,
it's
I
going to be
agree.
way
It's
harder.
just a
if
life
you're, like,
rule right there.
Yeah, and
That
so
is-
like, yeah, be personable, like, but I don't want to send out the message to the people that are listening that like, don't be yourself, because be yourself,
Yeah,
and it'll
for
go
sure, for
a
sure.
lot, it'll be a lot easier, because especially if you're doing vlogging and stuff like that,
Yeah.
if you try and be this character that you think everybody wants you to be,
No, I
then
agree.
at some point you're gonna
It's
be
just exhausting.
You
I
could be
agree.
sick of that character, and now you have to change that character because you're so tired of being that character. Now all your YouTube followers are like,
Nah,
"Whoa, I
you're
don't
right.
like the character."
But yo,
that you
like,
really are, or
yeah,
whatever.
like,
you're right.
Imagine
Yeah,
people
it
like
makes-
they love watching you on, like, say you go with your example
Right.
with YouTube, and it's more than just YouTube.
Sure.
But like, say they love that character.
Yeah.
Or right.
Right.
And that's not even you.
Right.
And then you get to that point, and
Yeah.
then people love you for not even you.
Right.
And then you're like, wait, what the hell am I
Yeah,
doing?
yeah.
And then it's just like
I think it
exhausting.
happens a lot
Like,
though. It might
for
happen. I think
sure.
it does happen
It's
a
just
lot.
way more
when-
invested
yeah.
when you are like, "Oh, I am me."
Yeah.
you
And then
know?
people respect the hell out of that.
Yeah.
Like, yo, this person's being genuine as hell.
Or
man.
eventually
Yeah.
they will. Like, it's so
Yeah.
tough, and a
Yeah.
lot of people like will talk to me. I encourage many people. Oh, you should really write about your stuff. And this is what we were talking about earlier. Is that
Yeah.
the professors? Because I was like talking in class, critiquing in class.
Yeah.
Very open with the way that I talked,
Process.
the way that I went about like
Yeah.
my character as a person. Always been an outgoing person. Always been running around meeting people and stuff. They say you should talk. Your photos are really deep, but you just have like emojis or like one word things for your, or like
Yeah.
you kind of like play them off to kind of be like not as good as they are, like because of your captions are like fire or like had a dope shoot or whatever, or just like one lyric word or whatever. And so they said you should talk about your day. Maybe you talk about that way that shoot went. Maybe you talk about how difficult it was to be in the snow when your hands were freezing and you couldn't feel your hands anymore and you were shooting people
It's a
outside.
good tip,
So
though.
you just start
That's
talking about, oh
Yeah,
man,
that's a
we
great
went
tip.
out to the
Yeah.
fucking middle of
That's a
nowhere
great tip.
and you know it was 6 a.m. and both batteries died, but we got them charged up and we had to go this and this and it was crazy, but we
That's
got
cool
the
as
shot
shit.
and we got
It's
the
cool as
shot.
shit.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about that, then you start to talk about that a little bit, and then those captions become longer and longer and longer and longer.
Yeah.
And it just becomes easier to be like, after a while, it just wasn't that hard to like, I will put a photo up and I don't often think about the caption before I'm like shooting the photograph. It usually just comes after and I edit it and put it on my
Yeah.
phone and I go, okay. And then I'm like, and then I start to type one word. I'm like, huh, yeah. And then I just boom, boom, boom. And then it just goes. And then I just have something there and then I read it through. I'm like, all right, no, like little mistakes, whatever, fix
Yeah.
that. And then post it. But like
Does it take you long? This is my question because
no,
for me,
not really. Not
yeah, like
not really.
I've tried to like write long stuff, and
it takes
it's
money
just-
way longer than it might take some people, but like maybe like 20 minutes or so. I need like be in my room and I'm like pacing back and forth as like I'm typing. And I need music
Right, I
usually.
can't like do that. I can't do that. Like, say I'm like in a social situation where people are like, yo, I gotta get this post up, and
you
I'm
can
like,
tell.
I gotta like be in the zone.
Yeah.
And like sometimes for me at least, I'm not in that place at that point, and I'm like, yo, I'm just not gonna do it.
I can I can show you the captions where I was like sitting in a room with people and it was hard.
Yeah, because
they're just not.
You can't get to
they're
that
just not
place.
as deep. Yeah,
you can't get to that place.
See, I can't even.
So
I'll try like to write something long, and I can't.
Well,
like,
the thing is,
but I haven't practiced it. Like, I haven't practiced it.
So when I tell people like you should maybe like, especially for a lot of my friends who shoot in all like abandoned settings around the U.S., I'm like, yo, there's many stories that come from like getting into that building and getting to that space and doing that thing. So like you should talk a little bit more about how you got poison ivy when you tried to find that like abandoned plane and stuff.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah, it's interesting and
real.
And they're like, well, I want to, but I just don't think that people will care. And it's like people will not care. You're right, they won't at first.
Yeah, but
nobody cares. And the thing is, I wrote for me, and I wrote because my professors told me to write, and then it became a thing that I did for me, and it still is a thing that I do for me. But since I started really like writing in the past year and a half, people have reached out to me. I read every fucking one of your captions. I love your captions. Your captions teach me something new every day. Blah, 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 blah. This and this. I'm like, oh shit. And I tell them, I write that shit for me. So it doesn't matter if you like it or don't like it. I don't care. Yeah. But it's nice to hear that from people. Yeah. And that makes you go, maybe I should keep writing these. Maybe I should keep
doing this shit.
Yeah. And so like, no one's going to give a fuck in the beginning for sure. But like, you just like, I mean, for the most part, I mean, 9 times out of 10, most people won't give a shit. But like after a while, then people kind of go like, I love your fucking videos, but I also love your fucking captions. Like, your shit's dope.
I mean, that's as soon as I walked in here, that's what I said. The captions. I'm like, damn, these captions be on point. You know.
And you remember it.
Yeah. I'm like, because there's a story to every picture that he posts. Yeah. So it's like it's also entertaining to kind of like to read.
A little add-on.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not on the ground as much as I should be to kind of like, but I when I see it, and it's just like, oh shit.
So you were saying earlier, you were like, there's like a lot more that goes into like what it kind of has become for you, but like let's tailor back. Like what's kind of like your, I mean, have you always been creative? Like, have you always been doing creative stuff? Like, what's you doing?
Yeah, I started with fitness, I can say.
Cool.
Yeah, like I try to hit flips.
You grew up around here?
No, so I grew up in Newark, New Jersey.
Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah, which is a horrible.
Oh, yo, I was just in New Jersey actually.
You
went? I was in Atlantic City, like.
Oh, you went? Oh, yeah.
Like Absecon. I don't know if you know that. It's like a little south of.
Did you end up going to Atlantic City? I know you did.
I didn't go to Atlantic City, but
man, you had to.
But I went somewhere else. We talked about it.
Yeah.
But
so you grew up in Newark.
So I grew up in Newark. I was born in Puerto Rico.
Cool. Where about?
It was Aguadillas, I think. Aguadillas, Puerto Rico. Yeah.
My mom's from Barranquita, so that's.
Oh, you're Puerto Rican?
Yeah. It's like up in the mountains.
And my friend who I just went to visit in New Jersey is half Puerto Rican. So
you're Puerto Rican now.
It's connected.
Circle,
yeah. So from Aguadillas, so I was born there. I moved to Jersey with my parents when
I was. Both from Puerto Rico.
They're both from Puerto Rico. Yeah. So we moved to Newark. I was probably like 6 or 7 years old. Mm-hmm. Newark is just it's not a great place to grow up at, but
it's becoming better because it's like right outside of New York, and a lot of people are like moving there. But
it is. But growing up, I grew up in one of the worst areas of Newark, which is North Newark. Yeah. And I mean, for me, it was just kind of normal. I didn't know what was right, what was wrong.
Sure, it becomes the norm because you're surrounded by it.
Yeah. What I did learn is to just kind of be aware of my surroundings, because there you gotta have eyes behind your head. So I think that also kind of like made me who I am today. Yeah. Because it just kind of showed me how to read people more, how to just kind of like. Just by, body language and all this stuff. Just I knew I had a sense for like, either danger or just if they was cool with it, if they wasn't, So I think that also kind of helps me out in the business that I am now.
I had a very similar upbringing because I grew up on the west side of Chicago. So I had a very, very, very similar, like my school was like half very, very like rich, very like, promising futures of kids. And then like half very, very like kids graduated that still couldn't read, So like, you
Wow.
learned how to like
Shit.
really go like, and there were fights in the lunchroom, there were fights everywhere.
Yeah.
So you learn how to be like, okay, that's that, like this is their gang, and this is their thing,
Yeah.
and this is their corner, and that's their corner, and this is their thing. So I had a very similar like being able to read people and being
Dude,
able to,
my
like,
high
you're
school-
100% right.
My high school, woof,
Yeah.
man. Let
Yeah.
me tell you
Crazy?
something.
Yeah.
Oh my, my high school. I can say it was fun, but then now that I look back at it, I'm like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, I
But when
didn't
you
learn
talk
shit.
to other people, then you realize, oh, that's not how things should be.
Yeah,
Or
but
that-
when I
yeah.
moved out here,
Right.
that's when I
Yeah.
realized like everything that I was doing out there was not normal. So I'm like,
Right.
I would tell these stories and people would just like look at
What
me like,
the-
what the hell
yeah.
is wrong with you?
I
Like,
get a lot of the same reactions.
so we
Yeah.
even in high school, we literally brought in a bike to the high school and we would
Right.
ride around inside to the hallways, like. We would
That would
grab
not
the
fly.
fire
Yeah.
extinguishers
Oh
and spray
my.
them on the floor and
Yeah.
do like a slip and slide.
It's like
Yeah.
some jackass shit right
Yeah,
there.
and it was fun. Like it was super fun, you
Yeah.
know. But then I look at it and
You
I'm
were a
like,
kid.
damn, yeah. And and then like when there was fights, it was epic because they wouldn't take you to the principal. So we
Right.
had the counselor and security guard.
Yeah.
What they'll do is they'll put you in an office. They'll shut off the lights.
Wow.
Be like, fight.
Wow.
You want to fight? You're gonna fight with the lights off, no
Right.
lights, and just swing.
Right.
And that's what they would do. And
Whoa.
I remember getting grabbed for like running the hallways and like not listening and,
Right.
and shit like that. He grabbed me and he headbutted me. Boom.
Wow.
And he would headbutt anybody that wouldn't listen. To a
Who
certain
headbutted
point.
you?
The security guard.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Damn.
You
son.
yeah. So it was a little
Yeah.
rowdy in there,
Yeah.
but it was more to like towards like the end and stuff, freshman
Yeah.
year you're a little more like
Yeah.
conservative, and then you
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
seeing everybody else is just going nuts and wilding
Right.
out.
Like, I'm
and
gonna let
having
loose
fun.
too.
I'm like, hell yeah. And I couldn't stay still as a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
I was one that I couldn't be in a room. I had to like
Run
I was
around.
always jumping,
Yeah.
flipping, and
Right.
just I couldn't. To this day, it's still
Yeah.
kind of
You know
the
what's
same.
crazy about
Very
that though is
active
like that's like that kind of thing is seen in a school system setting or school system
Yeah,
environment
It's not very accepted.
as not accepted and like something is like wrong with you, right?
Yeah, you need to be.
But
on
that's
you
not,
need to be
like-
on meds or something.
but, like, that's
Yeah,
like-
yeah. Oh,
but-
I would. That's what they thought.
But it's just not harnessed in the right way. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like
I think if well, that's the thing. Like people don't understand that kids with that energy can be very successful. You
Right.
just have to
super successful.
direct them into what they like
Exactly.
and what
Right.
they
Exactly.
Because it's just so much energy that you don't know what you're gonna do
Right.
with it.
That's
you know?
like valuable.
Because I felt
Yeah.
the same way growing up, and my parents put me on meds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I still had like all this energy. I was like constantly
Yeah.
like, running around, and I
Yeah.
did like track and field and played soccer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like I always said like. Because I know for a fucking fact that my kids are gonna struggle with the same struggle, but like have the same like energy that they don't know what to fucking do with. And
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's why I need to be next to the mountains. That's why I need to be next to the waves.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
can be like, yeah, you have this energy. Go snowboard for 5 hours after school. They're gonna be
Yeah.
like, sick. Let's hit the slopes.
Yeah.
And then that can turn into
Yeah.
a thing for them.
And that's
Like
exactly
channeling it into like something
there you go.
positive.
You're channeling into something positive. But where I was at, I didn't have that.
right.
Yeah,
I was just
you
like-
didn't know that,
And I didn't know that. Like
Yeah.
I no bullshit. I love Discovery Channel just
Right.
because I see mountains, I'll see this,
Right.
and I'm like, damn, like one day I really want to go hiking.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I remember when I was like 17, I had my first car,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow,
Right.
and I'm gonna go hiking. I'm gonna find a spot.
Right.
I
That's
called
dope.
one of my friends. We ended up doing that.
Right.
I got lost for 9 hours.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what, so I didn't know that you're supposed to follow the trails
Right.
with the
Trailhead, yeah.
yeah. And I got lost for 9 hours
Yeah.
with
Wow.
no water, no nothing. I was
Oh,
starving. I was
shit.
like, I came out of there like if I was
Yeah. Lost for
young,
days.
yeah, lost
Yeah.
for days,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and it was just but it was a good experience, and I loved it. And I felt
Yeah.
so peaceful, and I was just like, wow, like the sound of the birds and not hearing the cops or the
Yeah.
Yeah.
ambulance. It was great. So I was like, I started doing it, and I started doing more and
Yeah.
more, and then I started cliff jumping, and I would go
Yeah.
cliff jumping. I have videos too
That's
that
sick.
Yeah,
like
doing
jumping
flip-top
from
cliff.
like 70 feet.
Yeah.
And it just like that's how I started.
That's where your energy was
that's
going.
that's where
Yeah.
it was going,
And it's a good thing. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it is. I was working 2 jobs, and that also
were you
kept me
working?
distracted. So I worked in Newark Airport.
Yeah.
So first of all, I cleaned toilets. I was cleaning toilets, man.
Fuck yeah! Started from the bottom.
Yeah, I was cleaning toilets. And I would
Hey.
clean toilets 8 hours a day, man.
Damn,
and then
man.
after that, I had a
That's what's up.
part time. Yeah, I had a
That'll
part.
teach you something.
Oh, definitely. And I was the
I'll
youngest
teach you
one
some
there.
shit. No pun intended.
Yeah, literally some shit. I cleaned shit off the floor too, man. I was like, I remember, man. I had
You like these dirty ass travelers, dude. What the fuck?
So that's the thing. I was in Terminal B, which is an international terminal.
Oh, international. Okay.
Dude, it was
Everyone's
insane.
coming in, yeah.
Everyone, literally.
Damn.
And so I would clean toilets for 8 hours a day. I got another part time as baggage.
Baggage claim.
Yeah, baggage. Freaking. I forgot what it's called. Whatever.
Like putting them on
They
planes.
put them on board. Yeah,
Yeah.
stuff like that. That's why I said don't put your shit in there.
Yeah.
But no shit, because I was
Don't put
one
your
of them.
camera gear in there.
I can look out the window of the side of the plane and see them.
Yeah, that was me.
Yo, that's what 24/7 do.
Yeah.
Why didn't I carry it with me?
They're fucking falling off.
Yeah,
the plane. They're like,
That's a no for you guys. Do not put your camera gear,
No,
any expensive
don't
shit
do
in your
that.
check
Don't do
baggage.
that.
Why
You
would you
always
have
carry-
doing that?
Yeah, I was. That was pretty decent. Yeah, a lot of bags.
Yeah.
So I had a part time there. Then I was super persistent to get this other job. It was so it was a belt technician.
Right.
As a belt technician, and I would go to his office every single week. I
Yeah.
think one time I went twice a week. He's like, dude, we don't have anything right now.
Yeah.
And I would still go, and
Damn.
it worked fine because at the end he came to me to another terminal that I was working at.
Yeah.
And he was like, look, thank you for being persistent. We got a job for you. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
excited. I was like,
wait, so it was doing what?
So that was a belt technician.
What's
so,
that?
So you know whether you throw the bags
Yeah.
on the belt,
Yeah.
right? So we would fix those
Yeah.
in case anything went bad.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
So it was more of a
How
lax
often do the
job.
belts break?
I mean, so it's not more of that they break. It's more of like the bags get clogged up. So
Yeah.
then you have to kind of go in
Oh,
there.
I
So
see.
then if it keeps running, then what it does is it'll burn out.
Yeah.
So then you kind of have to monitor the bags, and once
Yep.
it burns out, then
Yep.
you have the mechanics that fix it.
Okay.
So I was aiming for. So I started off as a belt technician. I was aiming more for the mechanic spot.
Yeah.
So I was doing that. I did that for about 2 years. After almost 4 years of cleaning toilets, so I was in the airport for 6 years total.
For sure.
Yeah. So I still had two jobs, which was the technician job and the belt maintenance. And then I ended up meeting my fiance now
Yeah.
through Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, yeah.
What's up? 21st century.
Yeah. I did it when there was no DMs, by the way.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
so,
okay,
No DMs.
okay.
There was no DMs. This was you gotta slide it.
I remember
You gotta
those
slide
days.
in the comments.
Slide into anything.
Yeah.
I dated a girl through the comments.
Yeah.
I know I don't know you, but I think you're cute.
You have to
And
go
then
down-
She goes, I know I don't know you either, but I think you're cute.
Yeah.
And then we started dating.
Yeah, that's it. That's how it starts, man.
Yeah.
That's how it starts.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
That's so funny.
it is, man. It is.
Yeah.
It's crazy because you got the way everything just that kind of fell through for me. It went in a way that you look back and it's like,
Yeah. Wow. How?
who the fuck would do what you
Yeah.
just did? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, it
But
was
you were
like
just
crazy.
doing it.
It was spontaneous decisions. You know, like I remember.
Hold on, yo, we gotta pause it real quick
Yeah,
and
let's
reset
pause
the cameras. You're gonna remember what you're gonna say?
Yeah.
All right, word.
Hey guys, thank you for listening to episode 11 of Breaking Boundaries podcast with Joel Irizarry. We thank you, as always, for tuning in, and we hope that you can get some value out of this podcast, out of the content we're creating. That is the whole point, and we just want to thank you for your continued support. It would not be possible without all of you, so thank you. A little reminder, we're doing a live podcast at Industrious Boston, which is a co-working space. That is taking place at 6:30 on March 14th. If you're listening to this as this is coming out, it will be taking place in a few days. So if you'd like to come out, it would be amazing, and we'd love to have you. There's going to be free food, free drinks, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. We're doing it in collaboration with Following Boston and Hoobie. So a couple, promising young creations and partnerships that are happening, and we're collaborating with them on this event. So yeah, we're going to be talking to some really creative people and just getting it going. So again, March 14th at 6:30 at Industrious Boston in the Seaport area of Boston. Come out. We'd love to have you. Anyways, enough of that. Let's get back to episode 11 of Breaking Boundaries podcast. We're back. We're back,
you forgot?
guys.
Yeah. Bro. Okay, so you were growing up and you met this girl via your DMs.
Oh yeah,
No DMs. No DMs.
Comments.
You slide into those
We
comments.
slid into the comments. 48, 68, 78 weeks.
Bro.
Those are the ones you gotta slide into because
that means you're stalking, which means you're interested.
Yeah, so that's
get
what
you.
happened.
I get
She,
you.
she threw the ball first. I was like,
Okay.
I was like, okay,
For
So-
sure.
So
you met
yes.
her.
So I met her.
How old are you at this point?
I was 23, I think.
Okay. How old are you now?
Wait, 23? 23, I think. 23.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm 28.
28. Okay.
Right, 28. So we've been 5 years. Yeah, 23.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you met your now fiance.
Yeah, I met my now fiance. Yep. So I met her. We met through the gram. We decided. First of all, our first date was, let's say scheduled or just just kind of planned for a hike.
Right.
I was
dope.
I love hiking now.
That's
so
cool.
So I was constantly like going hiking
Yeah.
and just so I told her about it. She was like, oh, I'm down to go.
All right.
I was like, oh, all right. So she lived out here, so that means she had to take a 5-hour drive.
Yeah.
You know, to go meet me.
Right.
And it's like, it's pretty sketchy to
Yeah.
kind of like drive 5 hours to somebody that you
guy.
hardly know.
She drove to Jersey?
Yeah, so
Damn.
we.
Yo, that's cool.
Yeah, so I mean, we would FaceTime every single day
Yeah.
for like the next 3 weeks till we actually like met.
Yeah.
So FaceTime, we kind of got to
Know
feel each other out a little bit,
That's smart,
instead
yeah.
of just a phone call and like so we just feel each other out, every day. And it worked fine. So we ended up going hiking. We went hiking. Everything was good. And then for the next 6 months, she would come down twice a month because I couldn't go up as much. I came up to Haverhill maybe once or twice in those 6 months because I was working a lot. So I would constantly work. I didn't have no days off. So it was just like, always working. Even when she come, I'll still have to work. And then I'll take the other job.
Yeah.
I'll take off from it.
Yeah.
But I'll still work one job.
Yeah.
Me growing up, I've never had like I came from a poor environment,
Right.
so for me it was like you got to get it always. Like you have to work for it.
work,
So
right.
for me that was no question. Like I'm gonna work whether you're gonna or not. It's just I need to make my money, and that's how I pay my rent. Another thing, I've been living on my own since I was 17.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's another thing.
Wow,
I've always liked just to take care of my own shit.
Right.
So we ended up we're like, what are we gonna do now? Are you gonna drive down for the winter? Like, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make the move.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move out there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get a transfer from my job, which was like lowering me to like $12 an hour.
To where? Like Logan?
To Logan, yeah. So it was through Porter Airlines.
Yeah.
Which is a Canadian Airlines.
Yeah.
And there was like,
Did you fly for free?
Yeah. So that's what I would do. I would.
Yeah, because I know a lot of those airlines you get to fly for free. If you work for them.
So you just pay taxes.
Right.
So I paid like $25 to travel.
Oh, you just don't. Okay, you don't have to pay. You just pay the taxes of the ticket.
Yeah. So I paid.
Okay.
Yeah, just
That's
pay
kinda
taxes.
cool, yeah.
I mean,
you can go to some
couldn't
places for
fly
like a day.
as much because I was working too much. But whenever I
Yeah.
would come out here, which was maybe twice, or
Yeah.
I think it
You'd
was like
always
twice.
fly.
Yeah, I would. I'll fly, catch $25 flights.
Yeah.
Why not? Shit,
There you go.
and then I get here in 45 minutes.
Right.
Shit,
I'll be there in 45.
Get here in 45 minutes.
That's across the
I'll be
city.
here at 45 for $25.
Yo, that's here for lol.
That's legit. It is, yeah.
So that shit was perfect.
That's
Wow.
sick, dude.
Yeah.
Fun
So
as fuck. Yeah.
so I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna make the move. So I got the transfer, which I didn't even end up going to the interview at all because I ended up talking to her dad, spoke to her dad, and he got me a job in the union, which now I was making
Construction, right?
Construction.
You told me
in the
that.
city.
Yeah.
So now I was making about $37 an hour,
Wow.
or 38, something like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, how shit just kind of worked out,
Yeah.
right? It just kind of all fell into place.
Right.
And long story short, I ended up buying a camera for a Mexico trip,
Yeah.
and boom, that's how it all kind of happened. I did a shitty video, which I think I showed you.
Yeah.
Super exposed, overexposed.
Yeah.
It wasn't that shitty though. For
It was
real.
overexposed.
It was,
dude.
but
That
like
thing was
kind of
like-
lent to the look of it a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, now, I mean, I look back at it now, and I'm like, what the fuck was I doing?
Dude,
But,
I mean, now Instagram's doing this thing where they show you your memories. So you can, like, post on it.
Instagram's doing that?
Instagram's doing that. They'll say like
I kind
2
of
years
saw
ago.
that. Yeah.
It's hard to catch because if you're getting like a lot of likes, you're getting a lot of stuff. Sometimes it's hard to catch. It'll be in there, but like
You posted this 2 years ago.
yeah, you posted this 2 years ago.
way.
So man, I'm like even seeing the stuff. Like sometimes I see something, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I'm like gonna repost that.
Yeah.
Because you could just share it to your story. You can share it to your story.
Oh,
So
that's dope.
Yeah, so that's what that.
I didn't
when
know
you click
that.
on
I
it,
didn't
when
know
you click
that.
on it, it'll go to a
That's-
thing that sets it up so that you can share it in your story.
That's freaking dope.
So
Instagram is smart, dude.
It
They're
is.
smart with that
They-
shit.
So-
they go there
So
and
I
get you.
some of the stuff
Yeah.
I'm like some of the
Yeah.
stuff I'm like, oh fuck yeah, but
Yeah.
some of the stuff I'm like, bro, what? Like
Yeah.
what the fuck was
Yo,
that? Like,
trust me, you look back.
I'm just like,
but that also kind of motivates you too.
of course,
Does.
it
it
just-
shows you you're doing
yeah,
better.
yeah.
Right.
Best work
It's
should not
great.
be.
If you weren't thinking that a lot
Right,
of times,
right.
Yeah.
like you can still have like some like be proud of like what you did or whatever, but like
Right.
if you don't feel like that at some points, and I think
Right.
that happens with anyone that creates any kind of like art or this kind of field,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh dude, what was that?
Listen.
But then it's good because
Right.
you're growing and you're that much better. You're
Right.
you're embarrassed. Even
Yeah.
like stuff that you, like behavior wise we used to
Right.
do when you're like younger. Like
Right.
I even like shudder at the stuff that I'm like when I was like 19. I'm like,
Right.
what was I doing?
Done.
Yeah,
Oh,
why did I
was I
say that?
doing?
Why did I do
Just
that?
Oh,
Yeah.
like,
Trust me, man. Trust me.
Oh,
Yo,
yeah.
but funny, now you
The
talk about that,
growth.
you look back at that. I got a little story for you guys.
yeah, let me hear.
So I don't know
Let's
if you
hear
guys
it.
ever done this, right? But
Yeah.
as a young, I was 15. You know
Right.
when you first get your paintball gun.
Yeah, of course.
So we would have paintball gun wars.
Okay,
we
yeah.
would duct tape pillows to us.
No, we
It's
didn't.
like that.
See, we wasn't that smart.
Yeah.
we wasn't that
Like,
smart.
fuck it.
We would have paintball gun wars. So it was. I lived in Bridge Street, North Newark, and then there's a block called Highland. There's another block called Prospect. And
Yeah.
I'm a Prospect. Jesus, I forgot the name. Anyways, it's another street, and those street would do like drive-bys
Yeah.
with the paintball gun.
Oh,
And we
shit.
would get on the roofs of the houses and just like fight back and forth with it, and it was just
Holy
super
shit.
super nuts, man. And I would tell people, and they just look at me like, what was he doing? Like this is stupid, you know? I got hit in the chest, in the face.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
in the face.
Yeah,
Oh.
dude, I was bruised. But it was for us. That was fun at the
Yeah,
time. And
yeah.
then you look back, and it's like, wow, you could have lost the damn eye or
Yeah,
something.
oh,
yeah.
No mask, no nothing.
Yep.
It was just straight raw.
Right.
And
Damn.
and I look, it's like you said, you look back at things and you're like, damn, you did a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah.
And I think
of
that
course.
goes with anybody,
But it means
And
that
when
you're
young-
growing, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't encourage anyone to do the shit that I did growing up, but man, like
I mean,
but
Chicago, dude.
man.
You're talking about West Chicago, right?
Yeah, West Side. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean,
dude.
but like, we would get drunk and like hop into like freight train cars and just like drink in
that's-
them,
Shit.
and just be
That's
like, and just like
Shit.
hop in like
That's that Midwest shit.
buildings and just like
Yeah.
being on the rooftop and like walking on the
Oh,
edge,
yeah,
just like
see?
you know,
Yeah.
like and being like, whoa, let's
Yeah,
slip.
yeah, yeah.
And it's like, bro, like you're cringing, you're like, dude,
Yeah.
and then you're wondering why your parents were so concerned. You're like, why were you so concerned? But I was fine.
Yeah, right,
And
right.
you're like, of course they were concerned. They thought you were
Ooh,
gonna die every
dude,
day.
I
Like,
got
you know
a
that part-
stepdaughter, and she's
Yeah.
only 5, and I look at her, and I'm like, also over, like, protective.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, like, yo, now I know why my parents used to be on my ass.
Yeah.
You know,
course.
like my
Yeah.
mom, by 10 o'clock,
Right.
everybody would be laughing because we'd be playing outside,
Right.
kids,
Right.
and she would be like, Joel, in Spanish,
Yeah.
get inside the house, get
Yeah,
inside the
yeah,
house now. And we'll be running, and everybody would be screaming, Joel, you gotta go inside. You
Yeah,
gotta go inside.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, Dad, but I had one of those crazy Puerto Rican
Right.
moms. I
Yeah,
can't say
yeah.
crazy, let's say loving.
Right. Love it.
Because
yeah.
That's
You
a
know-
good replacement. That's
yeah,
a good
yeah,
replacement.
yeah. Let's replace it. Cause
Hold up real quick. The sun is like. Should we turn the exposure different?
Yeah, we can. Hold on.
Just a little bit on each. Just a little bit.
Yeah,
Good
this,
call,
happened,
yeah.
this happened last time too.
Yeah. When we're shooting around this time, it starts to go down a little bit.
Yo,
yeah.
we'll bring the lights on
Sorry,
the next one.
folks. Just want to make sure you're getting the most quality.
Image.
Quality.
Yeah, that's good. I bumped the
It is going down.
Bump the ISO. Like,
So for the next podcast, we're gonna have lights. We're gonna have lights
Dope.
set up.
Yeah, we got lights in my car. We'll
Yeah.
Close the
we're gonna
windows.
set them up.
Yeah.
So here you are. You're shooting. You're working. You're still working.
No.
So you're not working. So you're doing shooting full time.
Full time. So that's
Woo-wee!
yeah.
A
Yeah.
year in, people. A year in.
Yeah.
So
It's dope.
that's a huge step that that was like, damn, do I do this? Do I not do this? Do I do this? But then it's just like, if you don't jump into it, I mean, I'm not gonna say jump into it because I don't want to put people in the wrong, like, you know, the wrong spot.
Agreed.
Hey, this is what you did.
Yeah, but I did it, you know, and to be honest, it's been working out fine. Like, this month that just passed is probably one of my biggest months. You know, and like I was telling you.
Yeah, you told me. Yeah.
And you know, I have a
It's
goal,
dope, man.
and I have a number that's stuck on my kitchen.
Yeah.
That we created a vision board.
Yeah.
We moved, and the only thing that survived was that number. I was like, oh, perfect. I'm just gonna stick it here on the wall.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave it right here. And every time that I pass by the kitchen, I'm gonna look at it. And that's just number's gonna get imprinted, which is $19,576.
Yeah.
Random ass number.
Right.
But it's a number that's still imprinted in my head. And I'm like, I want to get to that number monthly. At least that's my monthly goal to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's legit.
Yeah, and last January I cut that in half.
Wow.
So I'm like, I can do this.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, it's only been a year, so
Dude,
I can see the progression.
That's what I was talking about with him.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's like,
it's crazy.
because it like seems like so, almost that it's not, like, in some senses it's sometimes, and don't get me wrong, it is very hard to break into and really do it.
Yeah.
But like, it starts with commitment, one, which you obviously have now because you could decide to go all in on it. And, you know, not everyone will do it in that way, but like, I think it's dope that you did.
Yeah.
And then two, it's like, it's just like, it's just setting that like intention. Be like, yo, I'm gonna do this, and I can actually kill it. Not like struggle because it's like photography and video, and because you have to struggle. It's no. You can kill it, and it's this, like it's this, dude.
And that's another thing like that people don't understand.
Your mind, man.
It's your mind.
It's your mind.
You gotta have it in your head that this is how it's gonna be, because if you don't, you're either gonna stress out and you're gonna get depressed.
Doubt.
You're gonna doubt yourself, and Spanish almost kicked in there.
It's all good. Yeah.
You know, so and that's something that I and I'm sure I did. I kind of like learned that when I moved out here.
Yeah.
Which is, it kind of just took on that pressure of like not having any friends, because again, I moved out here not knowing anybody, not nothing. So I didn't have any friends, and I didn't want to go back to like tell my parents, hey, you know, I'm like, you know, depressed out here, or tell my friends, because they were the type like, oh, I told you so,
right?
Because you know,
right, of course. So
you're moving out there for some girl,
right?
And you're making the dumbest move. You're leaving 2 jobs. You're doing this. Right. You're stupid, basically.
Right.
You'll be back in 3 months. I guarantee you. And I heard it every single time.
And you're like, fuck that.
I was like, fuck you. I was like, watch, I'm gonna pull this shit off.
Right.
And
that's dope.
And then 3 months, no bullshit. I was probably depressed for about 4 to 6 months.
Right.
Where I was like, damn, like what the fuck? Like I don't know anybody out here. So then I was like, I'm gonna hit the gym.
Right.
Hit the gym. Started meeting people there, and then from there it was just like, I'm not moving back.
Yeah.
I'm not going back. And obviously I had the job, but I was working with her dad.
Right.
And
that was the construction one at that point.
Which was a construction.
Right.
So her dad, he's a great guy. You know, if he ever sees this, he's a dick too. But, but he taught me a lot. You know, I think he taught me a lot. Like he's like, you're going to take this pressure. You're going to deal with all this bullshit. He gave me a big responsibility straight off the rip. Right. And, you know, and it just taught me how to handle the hard hits. Right. You know, first of all, you work in construction, you're talking about guys that, you know, Hell's Angels and all this bullshit. We're talking about hardcore guys, right?
Yeah.
In the construction field, at least where I was working at.
Makes sense, yeah.
You know, I done got into arguments, fights. Yeah, so that taught me, like, and obviously, especially where I come from, is like, you know, I would always let 1 or 2 slide until I figure like, oh, now it's time to like, I gotta say some shit. Yeah. So, and that's what would happen in the construction field. And then I got to the point where I was like, this is how it's gonna be. This is how it is. You know, I started defending myself. Right. Boom, I got a higher position because the people started respecting me for that.
Right.
And but it was because of her dad.
Right.
Her dad kind of just threw that pressure on me every single time. Like he would just kind of like beat me up every single day and just like, yo, this you need to take. Like he would tell me to do something and come back and be like, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah.
Just in case. You know, like he'd teach me how to handle that pressure. But you know, so I think being depressed and for that amount of time, kind of like, and then dealing with him, kind of taught me how to like just, hey, think of your own, like basically put a positive state to everything that's happening, and look at it as a learning experience.
Always.
And that right there just kind of made me take the decisions that I've taken now. To kind of like, hey, everything's gonna be good if you believe it's gonna be good,
dude.
Right?
Yeah.
And
that's it, man. That's it.
Yeah, and that's how it's happened. Like I told you, there was 1 month.
Right.
I got big bills, man. You know, truck, apartments ain't cheap. A daughter, you know, a fiance. So I'm like, I had to come up with $6,000. I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna come up? I mean, with $3,000. Yeah. How am I gonna come up with $3,000? Right. And you know, I started making phone calls. I had to come up with $3,000 in 2 weeks, and I was like, damn. I was like, let's see who needs a gig. You know. Yeah. Maybe I started hitting a couple people up, and I did. And it was like, yeah, man, we actually need a promo for this. We need a promo for that. We need a promo for this.
And it's like, of course you do, because I need that shit too.
And I was like, boom. In 2 weeks, I ended up making $6,000, dude. Wow. And I was like, yo,
that's what I'm saying,
I was
dude.
like,
it's right there. Like,
I was like, damn. I was like, here, babe, boop. I was like, I was like, you can't yell at me now. But it's like how you think, right? And it's like,
dude, it is.
You'd always need a little pressure in life, I feel, because that's what's gonna take you to the next level, right?
Makes diamonds.
But you need to learn how to handle that pressure, because if you don't, then you're gonna break, right?
Yeah.
And again, and that's where I go back to working the construction and her dad, because I think him putting all that pressure on me kind of.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, made me learn how to handle that.
You could have viewed it in you viewing it in that way is huge. Yeah. Because you also could have viewed it fully in the way like, yo, that dude is just a dick. Like, fuck that guy. Yeah. But you viewed it like, okay, you know, I don't maybe agree fully with like the way that he goes about stuff, but this guy taught me a lot, and that's helping me now with what I'm doing now.
But
and that's always what it is.
Yeah. But you also hit the gym when you were like, I don't know anybody here, I'm gonna like do this thing that's also good for my fucking mental.
That's
to get me into that balanced place.
I agree with you 100%, because I think Dad did a lot for me too. Yeah, like, you know, just going to the gym and releasing that stress into that, because at the time I didn't have a camera in hand, right? Yeah, I did actually, the T3i, which I bought it because a friend of mine a while back was selling it because his wife wasn't using it. So I was like, you know, I'll buy it off you. Yeah. I thought that was the best camera ever at the time.
Hey, it was a game changer.
It's a good camera. It's a good camera.
Yeah. So
good learning camera.
Yeah, but then you know you put it in the closet and you forget about it. Right. So and that's how I went to go buy a battery for it, and I ended up buying it with the A65.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Jump up, dude! I went from the T5
from a battery.
I went to go get a battery.
I went to the T5i to the A6500, and I was like, dude, I need to do this.
Yeah, and I had the T3, and I was looking at cameras, and I was like making a joke. I think I had put it on the story. I think we had stories at the time. I was making a joke to somebody, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a camera. And it actually became a real thing, and I bought the camera. Yeah. And that's how we
opened up like so much professional, like quality, like
so much,
and that's not even like it's like that's a good package deal that you get there, because it's not that expensive either, like compared to some other.
I think, you know what I mean? Let me tell you something, man. The E65 is a pretty beastie camera for what it is. Yeah. I mean, for the price alone, it's like you get a lot. The 120 is a beautiful thing. For me, when I shot 120 the first time, I was like, oh.
Yeah. So slow, like slow it down to 20%.
I was like, so, you know, little things like that, just like, you know, experimenting with the 120 and just.
And this whole time, like, when you started to like, when did you go full time?
So I went full time May.
Yeah. And so before that, you were just like, outside of work, you were like Premiere, like learning videos.
Oh, so that's another thing. First of all, I didn't. Like I was telling him earlier, I didn't know how to even go into documents into a computer. I had a laptop, yes, but I would use it just to go on the internet, you know.
Surf the internet,
and that's it. So I didn't never put documents in there or anything. And I had to figure it out now. Yeah. So I was like, all right, I watched a YouTube video on how to even set up the A65, because I didn't know how to set shit up.
Neither did I.
Yeah, I was like, oh damn, I was going through menus and I was like, what the hell am I doing? You know, it's like crazy shit. Everything was auto, by the way. So, at the time. So then once I did the which was in Mexico. I shot the first video that I had showed you a little while ago.
Yeah.
That video took me 5 hours to edit on iMovie, and it was only like a 15-second video.
Yeah.
Super shitty. And then I jumped in. I was like, I need to like go into something better that I can kind of like, if instead of me spending the time on learning iMovie, let's spend my time and learn on Premiere. And you know, I downloaded Premiere, got into the subscription, and I would watch hours and hours and hours and hours of footage until I started like figuring little things out of like, you know, just kind of making the cuts, like the shortcuts. That's little stuff that I would watch because I didn't know what was what.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything of like Premiere. And then once I figured that out, I would try to piece it together, and every time I would run into a problem, then I would look it up.
Right.
But I would just keep going with just like the inside of like Premiere, and just chopping things up, putting things up together,
just
and
trying,
yeah. And then I would look it up once I ran into a problem that I couldn't figure like something out, and then just after that, it was just kind of watching YouTube videos hours and hours. And you have to like, you know, people think like, oh, that's hard watching YouTube, but if you like it, you're gonna enjoy it, right? Like for example, I remember Peter McKinnon had, I think 5,000 subscribers when I checked him out, dude. Yeah. And the dude blew up within like a month of that, which is like boom, and I was like, holy shit. And he was the guy that really like kind of pushed me into the videos. I was watching his videos and I'd be like, wow, man, like his videos are so dope, so clean, smooth. It was perfect. And that just took me to like the next level. And then you know, I started watching more shit.
It's amazing because like I think for me at least, I definitely watched his videos too, and like inspired by Casey Neistat when I first started watching.
That's the thing. I didn't even know who Casey was. But like I knew Casey because of Peter. Yeah. To be honest. Yeah. And even though Casey's a huge name. Because now that I know who he is, I'm like, holy shit, this guy's really good.
Big guy.
But like it's like funny though because now it's like I honestly like I was inspired by them and like that I have to like acknowledge that with like my progression. Yeah. And like, but now I just don't even like. Yeah, I am impressed by like the way that they've created businesses and like built a lot of people and you know really you know did it. And I think I'm you know one of millions who are like impressed by what with the stuff that they're doing. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like now I see like what it from them and from my own personal experience. Yeah. Like what I'm capable of as well, and like we're like still like super young like. Right. Like I'm not even like in awe of them anymore. They're not on a pedestal anymore. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna kill it. Yeah. I'm gonna kill it. Yeah, like I'm gonna get it. And like it's dope.
It's funny in the beginning of like getting on Instagram and starting to like post on like a regular basis and like starting to like actually share my photos because I didn't start sharing my photos until like I don't know, like 6 months after shooting. I was like, I post a photo here and there, but it was still mainly like me and my boys and like and doing this and doing that and kind of like having like more of like a personal feed to like have fun with and whatever. Yeah. And like when I started to post my stuff and I started to like really like search on like different fashion blogs and different like people doing photography, I was like, yo, this person's dope. Or this person would follow me, like Sivatik, like an incredible like New England photographer, shoots a lot of models, whatever. He had the same amount of followers as I did, like 1,500, whatever, when he followed me and we were like liking each other's work and there's like old comments of him like commenting on my work. Now he would never respond to me. Like he's blown up like crazy and I'm still where I'm at. But I also followed photographers that had like 10, 12, 15,000 followers that I was like, yo, you're the shit. Man, if I could assist for you, I could blah, 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 blah. And now I'm where I'm at, and they're like talking to me like, bro, what's up? Like, bro, you're killing it, bro. Like, what's good? When at that time, they weren't responding to me. They didn't care about me. They didn't care to have a conversation. Yeah. But now they're looking at my work like, yo, you're the shit. Like, bro, your work's really fucking, bro. And I'm like, yeah, dude. Yeah. I'm just sitting here like,
yeah, but it's funny. It's funny because that's
what happens.
That's what happens. You know, another guy that also inspired me to do use a lot of sound effects into my fitness videos was Lobo Films. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard of Lobo Films, but he would answer every question I had. Yeah. And he's blowing up now. Like, the dude's blowing up. Right. You know? And he still, to this day, will answer all the questions I have, you know? Right. And that's what you need. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, don't put yourself on this pedestal because you have this amount of followers or there's that. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's like, you know, I can have, I don't have a lot of followers, but I can have 1 million followers.
Right.
I would try to
doesn't
respond.
matter.
It doesn't
Like,
matter.
it
Like,
doesn't
you was
matter.
there, I was there.
Yeah.
You know, we've all been
There
in that
are
situation.
benefits to it, but it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
And like the perception, once you're
Yeah.
actually in the game,
Right.
the perception of what that actually means changes.
Yeah.
And when you're like don't know shit and you're just some random dude on Instagram, and you're
Yeah.
like, yo, dude, 50,000 followers,
would-
and I'm like, dude,
yeah.
now I don't give a fuck. Tell me what you're about. Like,
Like,
don't tell
dude,
me. Like,
even if
I don't
I
give a
don't
shit about
have
your
the-
numbers like as much.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like, even if you don't have the answer, direct them to somebody. Like,
Right.
I would be like, hey, yo, watch this YouTube video.
Yeah, this will help.
This
Yeah.
will help. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't have the
I send
answer,
people
but
tutorials and
yeah,
stuff like that,
because like, yo, like, come on,
Right.
As
And when
sim-
I was starting out, the tutorials, like I said, would take like 15 minutes to explain something that kind of didn't really know. Now there's Skillshare. Now there's like Share to Learn.
Yeah,
now
I know, there's so
YouTube.
much- there's
so
so
many different
much.
things that go so specific into every single
Yeah,
detailed question.
yeah.
They explain it in 3 minutes. You don't need to waste your fucking
Yeah,
time.
yep.
That it's like, bro, like if I had this video when I was fucking, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like, and I have it now, which is great.
I was about to say that. I think now is the time. Like,
Yeah.
you just have to do your research. I mean,
Right.
and look for it. Like,
And
if
it
you
takes
want,
a
if
lot
you
of
like
time.
something, same thing for fitness. You know, fitness.
Right.
I wasn't when I started doing all my flips and all this stuff,
Right.
and just, you know, because fitness
Yeah.
was like, obviously I still need to stay active some way
No,
somehow.
same.
You know.
For sure. Same.
And just same thing. I would do a little bit of research, like,
Right.
what's this or what's that, you know, and
Yeah.
and it just goes into anything that you're gonna do in life.
Right.
If you want something, you really got to do some research on it.
But also, like you were saying before, it's like one of the reasons that I haven't dived into video like as quickly as some people I knew who picked up a camera and they were shooting photography for a year and then they started immediately for video because they were like, oh, let me do both. This is an asset, this is a tool. Like I said, like
Yeah.
no one really mentored me or told me that like you should start doing video as well. That would really help you out. And but I wish someone did, but they didn't, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So I'm here now starting video and stuff. But one of the reasons that it took me a while is because I loved photography. I love photography, and the reason that it's been so not easy to learn or anything like that,
Yeah.
it's been hours and hours and hours, but I've enjoyed like 99% of
Process.
it because I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to start doing video because I didn't love video.
Well,
and if I loved
yep.
it, then it would have been easier to start and be like, I'll watch hours. I'll watch as much as I can. I'll test shoot. I'll shoot my
Yeah.
friends. I'll edit it. And then
Yeah.
I'll come back the next day with this. I'll like, you got inspired
Yeah.
for your Mexico
Yeah.
video. You'll turn it around and do better the next time.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I have no ambition to do better the next time. I
Yeah.
have no interest in this.
Yeah.
I only want to do video when I want to do video. I
Yeah.
don't want to do video because it's something that I feel like I have to do. I want
Exactly.
to do video because it's something that I want to do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Well, that's the funny thing. That's where it turned around for me because I thought I'd be doing photos.
Right.
For me, I think I always looked at it like if I'm gonna get into a business side of this, it would be photos, right? And I would look at the video thing and I was like, I would never do video. I would
Right.
never do video, and it went into that direction, you
Yeah.
know. I even bought which I had showed you, which was the lights and everything for photography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't used it once.
Yeah. The umbrella kit.
Everything,
Yeah.
it's brand new, still in a box. Haven't used it once.
That's
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I haven't, and I'm like, damn. But now I enjoy video. Like, I really enjoy it because
So
it's
it's
like
just
so
something you just
much
wanna do.
going
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that it keeps you
There's so many elements that
so
there's so many.
much.
I think it
so
is
much.
difficult to. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
But we do have to wrap up in a minute.
Yep.
But let's just talk about this real quick. I think it is very difficult to. And for me, I'm more of like a hybrid shooter right now, more video, but I do definitely
Yeah.
love photo and like.
Right.
I feel like I've gained a lot of like grasp by being around photographers and just really just
Yeah,
doing it.
yeah.
I love
Yeah.
capturing images.
Yeah. Right.
And but going from I started with video and going to photo, for me, it seems a lot easier to do it that way. That's just
yeah.
the way that it happened naturally for me.
Yeah. For
But
sure.
like it's one frame out of, a ton of frames plus like with video with moving and the camera movement
Yeah. Right.
and sound and
Right.
music and
It's a lot.
angles.
Right.
And
It's a
like
lot.
there is angles with photos too, but
Right.
photos just one at a time.
Right.
And going from photo to video, I could see could be like super overwhelming
Yeah.
because it's just like one frame and then it's like, bam,
But it
there's
goes
all
back.
this other stuff.
People-
you gotta
he
think
was
about.
People
saying.
struggle for
Yeah.
photography typically when they're a video guy, at least from what I've heard from other videographers.
I do. I
is
don't-
that
I
it's
find
to
it hard.
capture to capture a story in one image, it's much easier when you have 30 seconds or when you have a minute to be able to tell a story rather than one image to go, this is what this is about, and this is what this person is about, and this is what's happening in this scene. You can see the detail happening in this scene.
Right.
So I captured it in one frame rather than being like, I have 1 minute to really wrap up this story. I have one image to wrap up this event. Then this wedding photo, whatever, of this like bride and groom holding their hands and their rings are right next to each other and stuff like that. That with the light coming in, that moment is really capturing their souls and that day. Yeah. But like to have a video recap of a wedding, you have many moments to show all in the frame. So that's what a lot of people struggle with, being like, how can I pick
simplifying it?
How can I pick one photo to represent that wedding or that moment?
And I think that's what you have. That, like, because I find. I look at it and I'm like, for me, pictures is so hard. Yeah. Compared to video, like I would rather do a video than take photos. Yeah. I just don't know. I found that through like, maybe enjoying the video process. I think a video process is just so, like you were saying, there's so many different ways to go about it, right? Right. And like you can have fun with sound, with music, just the movement. I love movement. Like for me, if like the way my camera movements are, it's just they're never still.
They're so cool, dude.
That's never still.
That's what a movie.
I love the way you cut.
That's what a movie. That's like what I realized too. Yeah, like that's what movies are. Like people don't notice it. The camera's always moving. Pretty much.
When I first
very rare that it's not.
When I first did my first wedding ever, it was in DR. Yep. Bro, I was running with the camera just to get these angles because I was like, I can't miss
that
anything.
Wedding video is tight. I like that.
I was like, I'm taking off my shoes for this, man, because it was on sand, and I was like, I gotta run. And I was running, boom, 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 and then people right after the ceremony, they came up to me like, yo, I don't know how you did all that, but I couldn't be you right now because I was running all over the place, and I got so many angles that I got so close to them. Like, obviously, you don't want to do that in a wedding. It was my first wedding, but it worked out fine on that one. Yeah. But man, people was just telling me like, I don't know how the hell you just sweating your balls off over there. Yeah, I felt like a ninja. I was on the floor. I came out of there. I had sand all over me. I was just like, it was crazy, man.
So you want to plug yourself? We're wrapping up here. Right?
Yeah.
So anything coming up you want to talk about, or
anything coming up?
Or like final words, like that you
man, I really appreciate you guys for having me. To be honest, this is awesome.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, it is fun. First I was a little nervous, guys. So you're gonna see that
young, fresh talent over here.
No, thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. If you guys even considering me to be here,
dude. Of course,
happy
man.
to have you. Happy to
Thanks for sharing your story, dude. I think like
that,
that kind of thing is like helps other people that are like wanting to do this type of thing, or just want to hear someone's story.
Anybody can do anything they want, and it's funny. It may sound like everybody's saying this on Instagram or on YouTube or whatever, but it's actually true. Like
dude, it is.
It's all you have to. It's actually so you just have to like put your energy into it, and don't put your energy into. And this might sound like Gary V. What your mom said, but at the end of the day, if I was to listen to my mom, I would have never moved out here.
That's what I mean.
And then this would have never happened. I would never been sitting in this chair, and then I would never been holding a camera like I am now. Patience and persistence.
And measured risks. Like take risks that you do trust yourself.
No, you do. You do gotta trust yourself, and you do have to take risks in life and
intuition and trust in that.
It's a gut feeling, to be honest. Like it's literally a gut feeling. I feel it in my gut whenever I'm gonna do something. And it feels good.
I think it'd be hard for some people that are more like logical thinkers. Like I think we probably are more like trusting intuition and like maybe more like emotionally like making decisions, and in a good way though. But then I think some people that are more logical thinkers, it's a little harder for them to get past that because they're like, oh, that doesn't make sense. But it doesn't always make sense in the moment. It makes sense, like you talked about, like looking backwards.
It never makes sense. It never makes sense. It never does. Yeah. But
are they still shooting?
No, but we're rolling audio. We're good.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
for show. You wanna plug your Instagram? Where can we find you?
My Instagram is at shoot_the_I.
Shoot_the_I.
EYE, right? For I?
Yes, EYE, yes. So
cool.
Yeah, that's my Instagram. Check it out.
Is that like because you almost got hit in the eye with a paintball, or?
That's a good one. That's a good one. I just felt like everybody has an eye for something, so why not shoot it?
Yeah.
That's just how I look at it.
I like that.
Everyone has an eye for something. So
everybody has an eye. Like your
right.
perspective is way different than mine. I'm pretty sure your perspective
and
is
it matters,
different than mine.
your perspective matters.
Exactly, because now you can be shooting, I can be shooting, you can be shooting, but that flower looks different
We
to
can
you.
collaborate on something and walk away with something completely different.
Super different,
Yeah.
and I've noticed that with shooting. You seen by Burnsy?
Yeah,
his shit's dope.
You guys shoot a lot together, right?
Yeah. So
I like his stuff. Yeah.
His stuff is very clean, and
I saw his recap of the Patriots parade.
I haven't edited mine.
Oh, you're doing one too?
Oh yeah, I was there. So I can't wait. I can't wait to go crazy edit on that.
And now you moved over here. You got like just major sports success. Like that's pretty dope.
Yeah,
Like,
I know, right?
It's just like insane.
Well, first off, I'm still a Giants fan.
Yeah,
Let's not forget
Sorry,
that.
man.
Let's not forget that. I'm still a Giants fan. And but I gotta Brady, come on, man. You gotta give it up.
Man.
I always give respect where it's due. Come on, dude's
yeah.
old and he's winning championships and just
Crazy.
Super Bowls or
Yeah.
whatever.
And that's somebody that's like fully integrated, and he's
Yeah,
someone
he's
that's
commi-
gone
he's
all like a perfect
committed.
example of someone all in on what they're doing.
We should have him on the podcast.
Yo, Tom,
You should.
what up?
Tom Brady,
Shout
if you're hearing
out Tom
this,
Brady.
you need to be here, man. This
Yeah.
podcast's amazing.
We want to talk about all the boundaries you had to break, bro.
Yeah. Oh, he had plenty.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He had plenty. He's 6 pick. Remember that?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
amazing, right?
6 pick, like jumping in for Bledsoe, like the first
Yeah.
time. Like,
But he believed in himself. That's what mattered at the end of the day. Like, he saw it as like,
Trust,
I'm
yeah.
gonna be the best one there. Or I'm
Yeah.
gonna do this, and
Yeah.
he actually did it.
dude, yeah, and I think
You know?
you can learn a lot from people like that, and it's not only those like superstars that are like in the spotlight. It's from just like everyday people that like.
But
are
that's the
just
thing.
Doing their thing.
Everyday people don't see themselves at
Right.
at a scale, right?
Yeah.
At a scale of like being.
You gotta
I
like
can't-
get
I can't
yourself in
be
the
that.
mindset,
Right.
And there's a small percentage of people actually doing it.
Yeah,
That's true.
exactly.
Yeah.
It is a small percentage,
Yeah.
and that's where people kind of just see everything super different. Like, I can't be up there. I gotta work a 5 to 9.
Right.
Or like, to be honest, I've never thought I'd be working for myself or have my own
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
But it turned out that way. Now I see that, holy shit, like you can actually do this. Anybody.
And this
can
is like so rewarding, and there's so
It
much
is.
possibility.
Oh
like,
my god! You know how much time like you get to yourself. I mean,
Oh,
obviously
dude.
starting it's busy because
Yeah.
if you don't make moves, guess what? Bills are not gonna get paid, right?
Yeah.
You know,
So you think that pressure adds so much?
the pressure. I think the pressure's good
Yeah.
because it's gonna keep you rolling, right? Now, if you have a 9 to 5, you're gonna get home, watch TV, and lay the fuck down, and that's
Yeah.
it. Day's over. Next, you
Yeah,
repeat
that-
the next
You
day.
don't have to do anything at the end of the day. if you
Yeah,
don't want
no,
to. Yeah.
no, right? Because you got something
safe.
secure. But
Yeah.
I feel like when something is not secure,
Right.
it's gonna make you move,
Right.
right? It's gonna
And
make
it
you make choices.
drives you.
and
like,
it's gonna drive you.
It's
right?
not for everyone, but it's for
it's-
you got to be highly motivated. You got to have
You-
discipline.
Right.
You definitely got
Create that.
Discipline is the biggest thing, and I'm
Yeah.
still like,
Figuring it out. Right?
I'm still figuring it out
Yeah.
because it's
That's what we were talking about earlier with the whole like I might be moving to New York, and so the
Ooh.
whole thing is that's one of the biggest reasons that it might happen is because I feel like that like, and I was telling him I was like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me, dude? I'm gonna be like fucking like bleeding over my laptop, like
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. Like I'm
Well,
gonna be like on the train station, like
New York
free
is-
headshots, this,
yeah,
this,
yeah.
this. Like I want like it. Like to be grind city, like
New York
like,
is
close my door, no one fucking bother me. We're working.
yeah. New
Like,
York
we're
is
going.
super fast
Yeah.
paced.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
that's another thing why when I moved out here I was a little like down
Yeah.
because I'm in Haverhill.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
talking about everything by 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock is closed. When
Right.
yeah.
out there,
Yeah.
you're basically all nighter, you
Right.
know, if you
Yeah,
have to.
Right.
So I went from fast pace
Right.
to slow pace,
Yeah.
right? So then it was just a lot of factors that kind of worked into
Good thing
that
you didn't
little-
go like down south or something.
Yeah.
Then you'd be really. That's
Yeah,
real slow.
I
LA
know, I know, I know.
Where-
LA compared
LA
to like,
is slower,
being like
yeah.
a big city, it's like it's slow.
It is?
And I can't do it. And I can't
No.
do it. And I was there for a year, and I was like, dude, I'm not moving.
But you
where I
went from Chicago, so you're talking about your city too. Your
Yeah.
city's a little.
my city's the middle between LA and New York, and it
Okay.
actually
Makes
sits
sense.
in the middle.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
actually,
So it's the Midwest, but it moves, but not as fast. It doesn't move as fast as anyone. It doesn't
Yeah.
move, like I described it like this. It doesn't move as fast as it thinks it needs to move. It doesn't move for anybody. it just moves at the pace that it moves, and they don't
Yeah.
care if someone else is moving faster. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They're like, we're just moving the way we're moving.
Yeah.
And it's not.
That's
like,
a good mindset.
Yeah.
No, but
They're
it
not
is.
like-
It is. A
But
good
in New York,
mindset.
but in
It
New York,
is,
everyone piggybacks off everyone. They're like,
Oh,
he's moving fast. I gotta move
Yeah.
that fast. He's moving fast.
No,
we gotta move
nah,
this
man,
fast.
that's
We all gotta move
literally
fast.
that's
And then they're all
mentally
moving
fast and then literally walking fast.
Yeah, I think there's there's
Get out of my
definitely
way. We're moving
Yeah,
fast.
there's benefits to that because like a lot of innovation and a lot
Yeah.
of good stuff happens, and I think there are definitely drawbacks.
It's a
Obviously.
lot of
you miss out on some good
It's
stuff.
just gonna be stressful as fuck, and that's okay.
And-
Yeah.
And
But
you, like-
you can handle it.
'Cause
I
I
think
can
you know,
handle it,
and that's something that I tell people. Like, if you're gonna make a move, make it. Like
Make a
you're talking
move.
about New York, bro.
Yeah.
Don't doubt it.
Yep.
Do it
send
because
it.
you can
Send
always
it.
like. I'm sorry. Your parents are from here.
Yeah.
Are they from here?
Well, they just moved here from Chicago, like in May. Yeah.
I mean, you can
Yeah.
always
I
like you
can
have
come
a you
back. I
have a
can come
safety
back,
net,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I have a
and
safety
that's where what
Yeah.
people like, you know.
Some people
Kinda
don't
got-
have a safety net.
No,
so
they
have to
don't.
go.
They have to be a little more cautious of
Right.
things, but it still doesn't mean that you
Yeah.
can't make a move.
But then, like, you and my mind and your mind work similarly. We're like, when we set our mind, like, you moved here, like, all your friends, blah, blah. Like,
I'm not
everybody
going back,
here,
yeah.
everybody here, including my parents, regardless of whether they'll admit it or not, are going to be like, yeah, I'm sure you'll be back in a few months.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And my mindset goes, bet.
Yeah,
Like, bet.
yeah.
Everything I've
Yeah.
done,
Yeah,
whether it comes to
yeah.
track races or working in kitchens or whatever it
Yeah,
was when I was growing
yeah.
up, said like, I'm gonna be here and now I'm gonna be here, and you better believe that I think that all of you think I'm gonna fail. I'm not gonna fail.
Yeah,
Like, it's
and
just not.
that's the thing. It was straight in my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You coming
yeah.
back and they laugh.
Yeah.
You moving out there for pussy,
Yeah,
just like that.
yeah.
You moving out there for pussy.
Yeah.
You stupid.
Yep, yep.
You are
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
stupid.
But here you are.
And here I am, and now they're asking me, questions
Yeah,
like, "Hey,
how
yo,
is it?
you know,"
Yeah,
and
what's up?
Yo, like,
and
how
it's
you
like,
doing this?
and
Yeah.
I would never be like, "Oh, you told me this, so fuck
Yeah,
you,"
yeah,
It
of
was more
course.
like I still had like, yeah, hell yeah, and they were like, I would encourage like people to make moves, like
Yeah.
I did it, and it's not. I'm not saying that. Oh, I'm a millionaire. Or
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
famous.
for sure.
But guess what? I never thought I had an apartment with 10-foot
Right.
windows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I've never
So-
saw myself doing
Right.
that. I've never saw myself,
With a car.
with a car,
yeah.
new car.
Yeah.
Like we have raggedy
Yeah.
ass Hondas with
Yeah.
broken window and
Yeah,
getting
same,
stolen
yeah.
every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So stuff like that just kind of like it shows me like
Yeah.
There's
you know?
magic in like sending it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Oh, there
you know
is-
what I mean? Like
because-
it's the magic in that.
Because you gotta look at it like this, right? It's either it's gonna happen or it's not,
Right.
or you're just gonna sit back and not let it happen,
And
right?
Fuck that.
So it's either are you gonna take the chance, right, and make it to make it happen, because the power is within you, right?
Right.
The power is more like for instance, I said it again. If I was to fail doing what I'm doing now, that's that gonna make me move back to Jersey?
Right.
No, it's not.
Right.
Because I'm gonna find a new alternative. or
That's
a
what
new
I
way.
mean, and I think that's the way that
To
that's
make
the
it happen.
That's the true
Because-
way. Is like, I think that especially like with the stuff that we do,
Yeah.
it's like the whole point of this is like creativity, right?
Yeah.
So it's not only creativity in the work.
No,
that you do, it's
no.
creativity in how
In-
you design your life.
How you design
and
your
you
life.
like something goes wrong.
That makes sense.
You just
I like that.
transition into something else, and when you have that mindset,
Yeah.
you're good always. You
Yeah.
don't, and like you don't need anything
No.
else. Like you, and like it's all a mental thing we talked
Yeah.
about. Like even like on a higher level, it's like the worry and the stress and things that it's not real. Like it's only what you think is gonna happen
Yeah,
to you.
yeah.
Like
Well,
you
it's-
picture yourself on the street or something, but it's
Yeah.
not gonna happen because you have people around who support you.
Yeah,
and then like you
yeah.
have you surround yourself with intelligent
Yeah.
people. That's not gonna happen to you.
Yeah.
Like you're going to like figure it out because you're fucking
Yeah.
trusting that you're smart and that you know what the fuck you're doing in any scenario that happens.
Yeah, in any you said it in any
Anything.
scenario, because it's like me as a kid, like walking by and seeing like people in the street, like
Yeah.
homeless people, I would be like, I would never be that guy. Like,
Yeah.
and then in my head, I would think like, okay, if I find myself in this situation, what would I do?
Yeah.
I'd get a job. I would try to do like I don't know. I would see it that simple. Obviously, maybe their life is different and they're going through harder stuff.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I would like always say like.
I'll join a gym and take a shower, and then I will
Yeah,
comb my hair and
yeah,
then shave my
like-
beard.
but you mean
Yeah,
like,
like-
a lot of
I would like
It's
just
just
the
crazy.
way you
Yeah.
think, and I think, and that's I don't know if mental health jumps
course.
into this
Of course.
Yeah, it
conversation,
does.
but it's the way you think, right?
Right.
Like that's how you project things. That's how you
And you-
project them.
yeah.
If you're negative things is gonna happen. Because
Right.
if you're
For
positive,
sure, for
you can
sure.
see something. Like for example, like her dad. I could have
Right.
been a depressed motherfucker
Right.
walking with my head down every
Right.
single time because I
Right.
would get yelled at and come home. There was times where I would come home and be like pissed,
Right.
but not every day. Every day
Right.
I would take it like, okay, you know what? I should do this differently.
Right.
You know what? Maybe he's right. You know
Right.
what? I can. You know what? I learned this from
This is
time.
helping me.
This is
Yeah.
helping me. You know,
Some way. Like,
And now that I look back at it, I'm like, it did help me.
Right.
But it was me at that point when he was yelling at me to kind of suck it up and be like, all right.
but
I
it's
think
like,
he's right.
Yeah.
So it's also kind of
crazy.
controlling your ego too. Like
Right.
you gotta
Oh, for
bring it down.
sure.
Right.
Because if I
Bring
was
it
toe to
way
toe with
down.
him, guess what? I would never win.
Right.
And then I'll be fucking working at McDonald's or something. Because he told me straight up. Like
Yeah.
before he hired me, he was like, I fired my own dad. So if you're nothing to me.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
shit, this
yeah,
guy's
yeah,
ruthless.
yeah.
Yeah, just like that. First day I actually met him. I went to go help him move some stuff. And that's when he was like, hey, you know, I might have a job opening. I
Yeah.
can kind of squeeze you in there.
Yeah.
But just know that I fired my own dad.
Yeah. So
So,
if you're not good, then
He was like, if
yeah.
you don't show me any work ethic, you're out of here.
Yeah.
Right.
And
You know,
I
I was
think
like, for me, that was never a problem.
I
Work
think
ethic for me was
that's
just like
like a
a piece
lesson.
of cake.
Yeah, sure.
like
I
a-
can work hard.
it's
Yeah.
a lesson for, like, you just said, like, in hindsight, looking back,
Yeah.
you learn from, like, everything, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's always the case. Always the case.
Yeah.
And it's hard for us as humans to see that. And while we're in the moment of, like, whatever thing we're going through, if it's a difficult thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think that's the trick in some ways. It's like, instead of like, okay, I'm always looking back and be like, I'm learning every time. It's always good and I'm becoming better.
Yeah.
So it's like in the moment of anything that's happening, anything you're struggling with, you have to realize it then.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn from this and this is going to be good.
Yeah.
And then if you flip it in a way
Yeah.
where like then everything is just fucking
Dude, it's
always
learning,
good. Like it
it's
doesn't
a-
matter.
it's a-
Like
life is a learning lesson. I see it. Like you're gonna learn from it, or you're gonna fucking just suck at it.
Yeah.
Just stay sucking at it.
Yeah.
Like what makes you think because you go right and there's a cliff there and
Yeah.
you fall once, you're gonna go right again. Like
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
there's people that do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And
A
you just
loop.
keep falling,
Yeah,
just keep
yeah.
falling down the cliff when you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
if
yeah.
try going left, like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
don't want to go left
Go somewhere else.
because they're scared that
Yeah,
it might be a bigger cliff.
Yeah.
But if
yeah.
you're falling down the same cliff every
Yeah.
damn day because you're taking that same
if
route,
it's not working, you gotta change something.
You gotta change
Yeah.
something.
And you got to go away from
Yeah.
like if you really want to learn something new
You're
and
drive
like
yourself
be like a
insane.
pioneer, you got to go away from what everybody else is doing. Go
Yeah.
away from the herd.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
because like, how the
dude,
fuck are you gonna?
man.
How are you gonna like find new ground if you
Bro.
don't?
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean? Like,
something,
how?
and that's something I was telling you. That's also being aware, right?
Yeah, right.
Because
Awareness,
you
dude.
have to, awareness is huge because
And you seem to have known yourself for a long time. Like
oh,
you
as a
kinda
kid,
known yourself.
as a kid, like I was telling you, I grew up in a place where I had to have eyes behind my head. So
Yeah.
for me, I would, I have friends that are that done crazy ass shit, right? Again, where I grew up, it was like any other hood that's terrible, right? We would all hang out, but when I see something that's out of like my comfort zone, as in like I don't know this guy too much, he's a little rowdy,
Yeah. I'm out of here.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Right.
And that was always me. I
Right.
would never get in an altercation that didn't have to do with me personally.
Right.
At the end of the day, like
Right.
obviously there was times we go to the club and we
Right.
all get into fights and here
Right.
and there. But if you're with me, I gotta
Yeah.
protect you. Just
Right,
like
sure,
if I'm
sure,
with
sure.
you, protect me.
Yeah.
But when it came to situations where like we're hanging out and somebody comes out of there that I'm not too familiar with and
Right.
he's a little rowdy or a
Right,
certain
right,
way, all right, it's time for me to go.
I
Like
gotta leave.
yeah, that's it.
100%.
Altercation's not happening, nothing's happening, but
Right.
the vibe is not right for me.
Right.
And that's something that I've always felt that I kind of like always had how do you put it, like in a
Like a keen sense of that.
like a sense to
Yeah.
something that
feeling.
that if I didn't feel right to me, then I'm out of here.
It's back to intuition. Like you
Right.
feel it.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel it. Like
Yeah.
there was this one time I was shooting my girlfriend and I'm sorry, fiance at the park in Esplanade Park, right? What's it called?
Yeah,
In
right.
Boston. The
Esplanade. Or-
Esplanade. There we go. Yeah. So I was shooting her and I was taking photos and I see these 5 guys
Yeah.
just walking from the corner of my eyes and I'm like, they look a little sketchy, right?
Yeah.
And then I told her to get up. I'm like, let's walk across the bridge.
Right.
So I was basically here, and it was walking this way. And I was like, let's walk across the bridge. As soon as I walk across the bridge, they come behind me
Yeah.
like this. And I'm like, oh, they think I'm stupid. I'm
Yeah.
like, I haven't seen this shit all the damn time when I was younger. So I start putting my shit away, my camera and this stuff, and I hear from the back, oh, he's getting ready in Spanish. He's like, oh, se está preparando.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, they're definitely onto something. So then
Yeah.
I told her, I was like, stand right here. So we crossed the little bridge. I was like, stand right here. I took out my camera and I started taking photos towards their direction.
Yeah.
To see who they were through the camera, right?
Yeah.
So I started taking photos and they all turn around and you got 5 guys looking at one flower. I'm like, all right, I already know what they're trying to do.
Right.
So I put myself away and I maybe like I was on the phone.
Yeah.
And I started walking and then I stuck my middle finger and I was like, fuck you think I don't know what you're doing? And they turned around and started walking the other direction.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just because I felt
Just
it.
aware, yeah.
And it goes back to that feeling, awareness, right? Like, this is sense that you have, and sometimes people don't follow their actual gut feeling. And it's when you have a gut feeling, it's because there's something telling you there's something, right?
Right.
It can be good or it can be bad, right?
Sure.
So and people don't do that. Like they just kind of let it go, and, let it fling by, you know?
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
Of course it does.
Yeah, it does. Like follow it, trust it. You know, whether it's good or bad. Like you're telling me you see yourself in an altercation and you got a gut feeling that something's gonna go bad.
Right.
Why continue it? Like move out. Like get out. You know.
Right.
And I've always went with that. So I really trust myself when it comes to like making certain decisions. You know.
Yeah.
And so far it's working out. So.
Dude, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Dude,
Well, shit.
keep it going. And
Hell yeah.
Again,
I mean, we all find ourselves. I'm pretty sure you had the same, especially coming when you come. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
And you too, like
all the time
with the business and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
who would have thought you'd be traveling this much for business, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say,
dude, yeah.
I didn't even know what Lithuania was till I actually had a gig
Yeah, you
out
told
there
me
in
that.
Lithuania.
Yeah.
I was like, where the hell is Lithuania? Like, is this in the United States? Like, what is this?
That's so crazy.
And then I was like, oh, it's Europe. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh shit, I got a gig in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
You know, I was like, oh, you know, and it was like, wow. Like,
Yeah,
you
man.
know?
And like just everything is a little step forward and learn more and just grow more.
Every single
and
thing
just
in life.
try to connect with people and just
And
do it.
Yeah, yo, connections are huge. That's the thing. Like,
Connections,
that's
everything.
if you're gonna tell somebody something, it's like, yo,
Yeah.
be friendly and be open to like talk to anybody that's
Hard work
creative.
and a smile goes a long way.
Oh, huge
Hell yeah.
way, a huge way.
And just have a good personality and like when you can, like we just talked about before,
Yeah.
just like frame things in a positive way because people want to be around you. You're like,
Yeah.
when you're like that,
You're
you're
that
like
energy.
you're like a beacon of light. Like
Yeah.
people want to be around you,
Yeah.
and they're like, yo, you have energy,
Yeah.
and like you're fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
like, and like you make me happy. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that like helps.
Sometimes
everything.
you have those energy suckers.
Yeah.
People that suck that
today's the. I just wish I could.
Yeah, it's like, damn,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Like,
man, it
forget about
sucks
all that.
everything. Yeah.
Forget about it and enjoy the moment.
No, I cut
right?
those people out, bro.
I learned that too, man. I learned
a
that
long
too.
time ago when I went to school and I was like 18, 19. I had so many people from high school and I mean whatever, but I just had a lot of people in my life that were just like, I'm like, dude, I'm the wrong person you want to fill with problems because I will try and help you. But
Yeah.
like I can't.
For a certain amount, like you,
Yeah.
I completely see what you're saying because you would try to help the person or you would try like to encourage them in a certain way. But if you know that you gave them the lead and you didn't take the lead, like here, this is the road you need to take. You need to go left. But then
Yeah.
again, he goes right and falls back down the cliff.
And it's like, yo, I
Dude,
tried to help out,
I
but now I
tried.
got to step away because now you're hurting me.
I don't
You know?
bro, I had that happen to me about, I can say more than 10 times where I've, like me already living out here and they saw how good I was doing out here. I would try to help out, give them like, you know, like,
Advice
hey,
or-
I would go out there and always talk like, yo,
Right.
you know, like this is what you need to be doing. This is what you need to be watching or this. And we're talking about guys that I like,
Give us a second. Wrapping up.
we're talking about guys that when it was like, when I was like 15, 16, I would look up to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they had good cars, money, this, that, and now it's
flip.
It's flipped. Now they're, you know, struggling, like, you know. And now I look at it like, and I'm not here to judge anybody with like a job or anything, but like, you know, there's more to a job. Like you can actually do stuff for yourself.
You can create a lot of life, man.
Yeah, you can create so much more than just kind of working like for something else. Obviously, that's what pays the bills. But while you're doing that, figure yourself out too.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
In the
And
process.
The process,
100%.
yeah.
We gotta wrap this up.
Yeah, yep. I mean, it was good talking shit,
Dude,
man.
I appreciate you coming on, man. This
hell
was
yeah.
dope.
This is
Hell
amazing,
yeah.
man. Thank you, thank you.
real.
Hell yeah.
Guys, Breaking Boundaries.
Breaking Boundaries podcast. We hope you guys enjoyed
Shoot the
this.
eye.
Yeah, we hope you
Amazing,
enjoyed
amazing
listening
experience.
to Joel
Yeah, man.
and all of this stuff. And yeah, we'll
Catch you on the
we'll
next
be in
one.
touch. We'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to Breaking Boundaries podcast. We appreciate every listener out there, and we hope that we can continue to provide value and inspiration as you move forward in your lives. Please subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, rate and review, as that helps us out as we strive to make the podcast bigger and reach more people across more platforms. If there's anything we can do to improve the podcast, or if there's any suggestions, please don't hesitate to let us know. We're here for you. Thank you for listening, and continue to break your boundaries.